your platform where you're seeing me right now, we're going to discuss societal hypnosis. A lot of people are unfamiliar because they're just unfamiliar with the term. Good morning, Sarah. I see you. There you go. Oops, there you go. All right. Societal hypnosis, okay, because it's so subtle. Why is it so subtle, and why is it even hypnosis? Okay, it's conditioning. When you are being conditioned, okay, thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing the live. Yeah, share the live, you guys. Um, because when you're being conditioned, you're not even aware you're being conditioned sometimes. Okay. Now, this can happen in relationships. So I want to just talk about a couple of things regarding relationships. Okay. Because in relationships, um, I must tell you that married men are the hardest people to work with. Okay. For a couple of reasons. Okay. First of all, I'm a man, and I suffer from not asking for directions. Okay. So that's one thing. Uh, I'm being funny about that. But seriously, okay, number one, men come from logic. Okay. Most men are logical. Most men are prone, or let's say, more apt to thinking about, things in a more logical sense. Okay. Now, women are better thinkers. Okay. Women are broad thinkers. Okay. They not only consider one thing, they're multitaskers. Okay. They multitask easily. Okay. Um, Men have a little bit of that. We can multitask for a little while, but then we get tired. And then we just go back to that one thing. And we focus on that one thing. Okay, so let's talk about manifestation and male female manifestation, how it works, and how that pertains to manifestation. Okay, because we're a manifestation live that we do. It's about manifestation most of the time. Okay, because this all relates back to manifestation. Now, for a man, right, thinking about that one thing really good tends to bring whatever it is that he's focusing on, tends to bring it into reality. Okay, but women, on the other hand, are multitaskers because they're engineered to raise young and be mama bears. Okay, so they have that ability. Now, if they use that ability, if they focus, okay, and they use that ability to focus on the things they want instead of the things that they don't want, to focus on the good stuff, right, rather than the drama or the gossip or the, let's say the bad stuff, negative stuff. Okay, then women tend to manifest a lot more quickly, and they tend to manifest a lot more things, not just one thing, but several things, and they pull it in all at the same time. Okay, that's the good news. The bad news is, okay, that if she gets in a bad mood or a negative spiral, those things can slowly just go out like this, like the tide goes out. And then you have compounded negativity. You have negativity stacked upon negativity. Okay, when that happens, the tide goes out. Okay, what's the solution? If you're a guy and you're married, okay, and this is happening, like you notice that your wife is happy, everything's good, things are coming in, things are going well, and then she kind of feels down, and then she goes into a downward spiral, and you notice everything's going out, make her happy. Okay, because that's the spiritual end of happy wife, happy life. Okay, there's a spiritual side to that. Okay, I know what you've been told. I know you see it on TV shows, on comedies and stuff. I know you see that, right? Keep your wife, happy wife, happy life. Why? Because if she's happy, you'll be happy because she won't be bitching at you, right? That kind of thing. Okay, that's the physical world thinking. Okay, that's physical world thinking. That's not spiritual world thinking. In the spiritual world, the reason why you want to make her happy, the reason why you want to keep your wife in a good mood, or girlfriend in a good mood, or significant other in a good mood, is because the tide will start to turn around and it will start to come back. Okay? It'll start to come back. So you want to keep her happy. Okay, I can't tell you how many companies that I've seen, okay, because I do business. I have companies. I have 4 companies, and you can search them. They're all real things. Put my name in any browser, any AI. But I know plenty of men that started companies, my peers, and they started companies, fellow business owners. And I see a pattern. And the pattern is when they get married and the wife begins to work with them in their business flourishes. Like they get all kinds of stuff coming in, right? Good morning, Manuel. Good morning. I see you guys. Good morning. They get all kinds of good stuff happens. Okay? And this is because whether they realize it or not, their wife is multitasking as she's working in the business. And she's drawing the goodness in. She's drawing things in. And then what happens? Well, here's my experience of it, and I've seen it with tons of people. Okay? Then the business starts to prosper. Okay? Happy wife, happy life. Okay? Because she's happy, because she's excited, because things are new, right? The money starts coming, things start working. And then the male ego, gets involved. What happens when the male ego gets involved? Well, now there's all this money, now there's all this success. Okay, that's very attractive for other women outside the marriage. Okay, and some women will act on these things. And the male ego, right, eats this stuff up. And this is why we talk so much about moving from the left brain over to the right, surrendering the ego so that it doesn't become a problem. Okay? You have to subdue the ego. You don't get rid of the ego. You don't kill the ego. You need the ego. But when the male ego starts, getting attention, right? Starts getting all that, oh, you're so terrific, whatever, right? Then the extramarital affair happens, and what happens to the marriage? Divorce. And I get the guys right before the divorce happens, like, during that last 9 yards. And they come to me and they go, what can I do? How can I save this thing? Sometimes for that, you can't save it. Okay? I have to be honest. But in a regular relationship, and why I said that men are so hard to work with in that situation, is because they've been conditioned. So this is part of the societal hypnosis. But in this respect, it comes from inside the relationship. Okay? And there is such a thing called trauma bonding. We went over that, I think about a week ago. Maybe, about when she's forced to. It's up to you. When these things happen, right, it all gets piled on her, whether you realize it or not. But at that point, married men are very tough to work with, okay? I have a hard time. I have a very hard time. Because they've been conditioned. Because they've been conditioned into the relationship. Because they've turned over all their responsibility to her. And then now, down at the 9-yard line when we're facing a divorce, I have to teach him